I think Danica Patrick coming to NASCAR is going to be both a jolt for her career and big exposure for NASCAR, and I think she'll help bring in a new audience. She was in IndyCar for quite some time, I believe 7 years. Everyone's quite excited and anticipating. Of course, she has been in NASCAR in the Nationwide Series. I believe she may have even done some trucks to get started, but now she's going to be racing at the Daytona 500. She's in very good equipment. I think she'll do well and be well received, and it'll be good for everybody. NASCAR is now introducing fuel injection for the first time in the sport this year, which I think will be quite exciting. I'm sure the drivers will enjoy it, the engineers will enjoy it. It ultimately gives you more technology and understanding of the car. And then they have two very good partners that have ultimately come together to facilitate this for NASCAR. A partnership that we were fortunate to help have a heavy influence in, which is a combination of McLaren Electronics, who does all the Formula One race cars, they do all of IndyCar, and Freescale Electronics. And the two of them have a big business partnership. I think it will be good, and you'll ultimately see some of the technologies they take off the car, I think, will be broadcast to you over time and ultimately have some viewer enhancements. The TV ratings were up, I believe, around 10% this past year. I think that is partly due to the competition. It was the closest championship in the history of NASCAR. Came down to the last lap. The storylines were fantastic. NASCAR has allowed the drivers to show a little bit more of their personality at times. You've had some pretty exciting on and off track battles. The host broadcasters are doing a very good job. The racing's very good. So I think it was a combination of all of those things that ultimately led to an increase in NASCAR's viewership, and would anticipate that to continue this year. I think you're seeing more new sponsors coming into the sport this year than you have in the last 3 or 4 years. Farmers Insurance, probably the most significant sponsor who's coming in to sponsor Casey Kane, which is probably the most anticipated driver, new team combination. I expect them to be winning races and fighting for the championship immediately. You've had other sponsor renewals, other sponsors come into the sport where it's been pretty quiet the last 3 years. So I think that's a good indication of the sports sponsorship economy, and also NASCAR coming off of a strong last season, continuing to rebound.